Trump is afraid of the deep state?
Why shouldn't
Because I don't think Trump's afraid of anything.
No, you got to be afraid of these people. They killed Kennedy. They killed a lot of people. They killed Epstein when he was in a secured prison. They kill people. Okay. Welcome back. Rick sent me a email, some pictures of 9/11. If you haven't seen it, go check out a couple of weeks back my video, "The Truth Will Be Told." Rick is a survivor of 9/11, and the man's on fire. I think he's been on fire all his life, but Ricky's a hardcore, outspoken 9/11 truther, and for a really good cause, because he's suffering greatly from the effects of what he went through during that period. He did stay to help the people, and he's been suffering the repercussions ever since. But he sent me this email, and he would like me to read it online, and it's concerning the impeachment, or alleged impeachment, and he brings up some good points here, so I'm going to get into this. He says, it starts out, "Let them go ahead and impeach Trump. Here's what will happen then. Number one, the House can pass articles of impeachment over the objections of the Republicans and refer to the Senate for trial. Two, the Senate will conduct a trial. There will be a vote. The Republicans will vote unanimously, along with the small number of Democrats, not to convict the president. Legally, it will be over at that point. Three, however, during the trial," and this is what no one is thinking about right now, "the president's attorneys will have the right to subpoena and question anyone they want. What is different than the special counsel investigation, which is one-sided. So during the impeachment trial, we will be hearing testimony from James Comey, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Bruce Orr, Glenn Simpson, Donna Brazile, Eric Holder, Loretta Lynch, Christopher Steele, Hillary Clinton, John Brennan, James Clapper, and a whole host of other participants in this whole sordid affair and the ensuing cover-up activities. A lot of dirt will be dug up. A lot of truth will be unveiled. Finger pointing will occur. Deals will start to be being made, and suddenly a lot of Democrats will start being charged and going to prison. All this because, remember, the president's team will not, for the first time, have the right to question, will now have the right to question all these people under oath. And they will turn on each other. That is already starting. Four, lastly, one more thing will happen. The Senate will not convict the president. Nothing will happen to Trump. Most Americans are clueless about the political process, the law, and the Constitution. Most Americans believe that being impeached results in removal of office. They don't understand that phase 2 is a trial in and by the Senate, where he has zero chance of conviction. Remember, the Senate is controlled by Republicans. They will determine what testimony is allowed, and everything will be allowed, including DNC collusion with the Clinton campaign to fix the election in favor of Hillary. The creation of the Trump dossier, the cover-up and destruction of emails that very likely included incriminating information. They will incriminate each other for lying to the Pfizer court, for spying and wiretapping Trump campaign, and for colluding with the foreign political actors, especially George Soros. If the Senate declines to convict the president will have an election and Trump will win. there will be a backlash against the Democratic petulance, temperamentism, hypocrisy, and dishonesty. Even minorities will vote for Trump because for the first time we'll see that the Democrats spent 2.5 years focused on maintaining their own power, doing nothing and doing anything at all about the black murders in Chicago, homeless, opioids, and other important issues that are actually killing people. And we will spend the following 4 years listening to politicians and pundits claim that the whole impeachment was rigged. So let the move to impeachment begin. Let the games begin. Thank you, Rick. And guy's good. Guy's good. I mean, God, I hope he sees the justice he deserves. And I hope we all do. Because if there's any one thing about this, it is the deep state, baby, and 9/11 is the linchpin. Now, in this video, it starts out with a TSA agent who's somewhat aware that there's something fishy about 9/11. Then we go on to a group of people that are clueless, and have a hard time, coming to grips with it. And then lastly, we have some people that questioned all along. And so there's kind of three types going on here in this video on 9/11. So again, if you like it, you like it. If you care, you share. If you can, you become a fighter like Rick, and because there's only a couple of things here that you do when you find out the truth. It's either fight or flight. And if you're a fighter, well, then you join the fight. And if you can't get on the streets like I'm doing here, well, then you support people like Rick. You support people like myself. You support people like Oath Keepers and architects and engineers for 9/11, and all the rest of us that are on the streets fighting. So God bless you. Thanks for stopping by. Let's get to this one. I'll see you on the other side. You guys catch a lot of flack.
Yeah, I know, man. It's a tough gig, man. But we got shit like this that happens, you know what I mean? Assholes bring guns on planes all day long and try to bring guns through there. And all
Really? Still?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Okay. Schmuck. They don't You'd be surprised, man. It's crazy.
I know it's crazy.
Yeah. I'm doing it like 10 years now.
But let me ask. I mean, all right, the whole TSC started thing, the thing about, the Patriot Act, that came out right after it, TSA exploded, everything happened. But let me ask.
Yeah.
You know anything about that building?
You talking about the Pentagon?
No.
Oh, that's the building on the side, yeah. It went down too, right? Yeah.
WTC 7, the Solomon building.
Yeah, it collapsed also, right?
Yeah. Never told us what brought that down.
Right, exactly. Well, they say that was all, it's perpetrated by the government, man. Because you can hear like the explosions go off strategically,
And what do you think about that?
It's a sad thing, man. But it's sometimes it sounds like it can be outrageous, but it almost makes like too much of sense to not acknowledge it. You know what I mean? I would hate to think that that's what happened, Shit, man.
Of course we hate to think what's happened, but, when you look at it, well, the FBI admittedly gave the bombs to the terrorists for the first World Trade Center building.
Right. I remember 93, I remember that, yeah. Yeah, look at the Pentagon, man. Like, the most secure place in the world. Supposed to be in the United States, has no cameras to see the plane footage going there and all that.
Now let me ask you something about your job, because indeed there's some credibility in what you do, but what would stop a terrorist from coming up to the line where you guys are?
know, our biggest threat is active shooters. That's the biggest threat. You know? But I mean, just the other day, you know, they got a soda can. I think it was in Senegal, where they had a IED inside of a soda can. You know, shit like that is what we're trying to stop. You know, we have, you know, a lot of equipment, a lot of people, a lot of schmucks that work there too. You know, but a lot of we get high training from other agencies, a lot of intel, and we just try to mitigate it, be a mitigating factor. You know, if somebody's gonna come up there and do a dry run, at least we get ahead of it. You know what I mean? And try to stay one step ahead of the next guy's, you know, plot. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of grind, repetitive shit, water bottles and bullshit. But that one time that we slipped, and some shit could happen. You know what I mean? So I mean, nothing happened yet. That's good. You know, but I mean, that's what we're there to do.
You know, I got a TSA poster, you know that?
Do you?
Yeah, can I show you the other side?
What is it? TSA touching someone's ass?
No, I'll show you. You're going to like it. You're going to like it.
For your own safety, we'll go closer. Look at the fucking back of this guy. I'm trying to find his joke. Man, my buddy would love this, man.
Now, I got a lot of people come by, they go, that's just how I feel when I go through there, you know?
Right. Yeah. It's a shame, but it's gotta be done, man. Other countries can put a fucking gun in your face, you know? Go to Israel, they'll put a big rifle at you.
Now, there's some people that say, you know, like, I mean, again, you're like, correct me if I'm wrong here. I mean, you're the professional here.
Right.
That there's some lax stuff, like a guy with a turban can be let right through.
Right.
A little old lady though gets strip searched.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, the strip search is not really what we do, but it's like there's a random element involved too. We can't just profile and say, well, you look like a fucking terrorist that you got a fucking turban on, or you look like, I mean, look at Timothy McVeigh. You know what I mean? You really can't put a pinpoint on what they look like.
Is there any trepidation about stopping someone that is a Muslim and
well, we have behavior detection people that are out there, you know, and officers, and they basically, someone who's exhibiting X amount of behaviors is a threshold, and then they engage in the conversation. And there's other elements involved, canine, plain clothes. But yes, I mean, you know, we feel like, you know, if we can articulate that somebody looks like, you know, they have intent, then we can definitely, you know, do the whole. You could come right through. We'll just, you know, scan you, check your pockets, whatever. But next time, we open all your bags, pull your bags off the plane, get the canine on it, open it. I mean, there's a lot of shit we can do. I mean, there's a lot of things in play.
Someone's wearing a trench coat in the middle of the summer, that
exactly.
kind of bullshit.
You know, somebody walk around and swallowing excessively all the time, or clenching onto something. There's different indicators. You know what I mean? Fidgeting. You know what I mean? It's fucking exactly. It's really hot, but you're on the, you know, you're wearing a trench coat and you know, and boots and fucking, you're carrying 8 bags. You know?
You'd be kind of, I mean, why don't you just carry a sign with you going, you know?
Yeah, stop me.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a real smart terrorist, you wouldn't, you know,
They're trying to stay one step ahead, man. They're trying to motivate other people. That's why they started stabbing people and running buses into crowds because they really can't come up with anything else. But anywho, man, nice talking to you, man.
All right, brother, man. God bless you.
Alrighty.
I called into InfoWars, and while I was waiting to get online, a gentleman got ahead of me who was a survivor of 9/11.
Yeah. Right.
He gave such a heart-wrenching rendition of his experience that it really, I mean, I was just, it took my breath away. Then they put me on. I go, how you follow him? Yesterday, he came out and did an interview with me, that same guy. And we talked for about a half hour about his experience that day. He has pictures that nobody's ever seen he's going to send me. This building here, building number 7. There are 3 buildings that fell in New York City in 9/11, right? No one ever talks about this building. Why
I
not?
was going to say, I didn't know about that building. I only know about the
It's
other.
called WTC-7, or the Solomon Building. It was the last building built in the World Trade Center complex. It housed all 16 of our intelligence agencies and the mayor's emergency bunker. It was a fortress. And from where we're standing, from the Twin Towers, from here to the other side of the French Market, 47 stories tall. It was not hit by a damn thing, and at 5:20 in the afternoon did this in 6 seconds. Straight to the ground, perfect controlled demolition, wasn't even mentioned in the 9/11 report.
I've never heard of such a thing.
I've never heard.
They don't want you to hear about it.
Who do you think did
So that was
Well,
planned.
who could have gotten in there? Who had access to that building? All 60 of our intelligence agencies were there, and the mayor's emergency bunker. That thing was outside of the Pentagon, probably one of the most secure buildings in the world.
Oh.
So who got in there to
in our
put
own,
in
our
those?
own, someone within
Our own
the inside of our own government? I mean, I'm just kind of naive. This it's hard to add this up. Is that what you're suggesting?
Those there's a group called Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth that I've had the opportunity to meet one of the originators of out here. There are over 3,000 architects and engineers. Some of them the best in the world.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Sure.
though? I don't get how you can have this guy figure out to create these guys to hijack airplanes and do this shit on one day, and then you'd have to collaborate with someone who had some sort of ammunition to put into that building to go boom in 8 seconds.
Well,
You just
that's
told me
when
I
they
just
were
can't figure
imploding
this
the
shit
other
out.
one.
Thank you.
They imploded that
It draws up a lot of questions, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So
hard to believe.
Well, that's why they get away with these things. These things are so hard to believe, they don't want you to believe them, and a lot of people won't. It's called cognitive dissonance. In other words, I talked to an NYPD officer that was there that day about 3 weeks ago, and he had questions about what the official story gave us. And his quote to me was, I don't want to believe the government had participated in this because it would pull out the rug from everything I believed my entire life.
I'm in his camp.
Thank you. That's what they want.
They being the government that I like.
No, it's not the government. Understand that the government is a very monolithic thing.
Yeah.
It's bad players within the government. There is a thing called the deep state.
Okay.
Bad players within the government. Not our government, bad players within it.
Okay.
Now, the 3,000 architects and engineers from 9/11 Truth that have studied the collapse of that building, those buildings, have signed their names, reputation, and lives to a paper after studying the collapses, saying those buildings came down by controlled demolition. Planes did not bring them down.
You know what?
A recent study
All
just...
three?
Yes.
Wow.
A
Not
recent...
not Islamic terrorists.
No.
They're not
No.
terrorists.
No.
There's no
It's
worldwide
impossible.
caliphate.
I mean, just the physics alone. Let's just go over the
There's
physics.
no worldwide
You're-
caliphate.
Now, this is high school physics. Force equals opposite reaction
So I'm just
force,
asking
right?
something. Wouldn't Trump then, being the truth teller that he is, blow the lid off this? If he
During the campaign, this is a quote from Trump.
Yeah,
A quote.
yeah.
You elect me president, you will find out who really brought down
Okay,
the Twin
so
Towers.
I did elect him president. Why isn't he?
Think of your reaction to this right now. If he were to come out and say it, what would your reaction be?
I would say, show me the proof, because I'm not a moron. If there's proof, show it to
There's
me.
plenty of proof.
Then why doesn't Trump bring it out?
Again, look, if I may.
But facts are facts. So yes, it's preposterous, but if I bring in facts, I will believe that. If Trump has facts, he should bring it out.
Believe me, there are facts.
Then
plenty
why
of
doesn't
facts.
Trump bring it out?
But
How can I vote for him if he's lying to me too?
again,
Then he's lying to me.
these are the
lying
questions
to me.
we have to ask. But he said during the
I would hope he
campaign,
would tell the truth.
and if you listen to his interview the day after 9/11, Visionary Builds Buildings in New York, they did an interview with him, and he said in the interview, you can listen to him.
But then why didn't he bring out the facts?
Again, we're dealing with if you have
A deep state.
a deep state that can pull something that huge off.
Yeah.
You think he's afraid of him?
Of
He's
course.
afraid of
Why
the-
shouldn't you be afraid
So
of them?
Trump is afraid of the deep state?
Why shouldn't
Because I don't
you be?
think Trump's afraid of anything.
No, you got to be afraid of these people. They killed Kennedy. They killed a lot of people. They killed Epstein when he was in a secured prison. They kill people. They are most.
So Trump's afraid of being assassinated.
How do you bring it? You got to bring it out.
Know your enemy. You got to know your
You
enemy.
got to know your enemy. You got
Know who your enemy
to
is.
bring this out in
Your enemy
increments.
is Satan.
Thank
and
you.
he's an Islamist.
Thank you.
But are there?
Good talking to you, man. Good talking to you. Keep up the good work. Good talking to
Thank
you.
you. Check this out. Look at the sites at the bottom
All right.
there.
Sounds good. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right.
And check it out, and then start it. Keep asking the questions. Keep asking the questions, because the truth of the matter is, this guy's going to send me the pictures that he took of 9/11 that nobody's ever seen before. The bombs that went off in the basement.
Yeah, that's wild. Never occurred to me. All right, well, thank you. You're very knowledgeable on your thing.
I absolutely love Donald Trump.
Pretty much.
He says whatever's on his mind, and he's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
2 planes, 3 buildings do the math.
Yes, you're right.
Because honestly, if you watch,
survivor around here a couple of weeks ago, man, that helped clean up. He's a victim of all the aftermath. He's a pretty big spokesperson, and he swears at a stack of Bibles that that was an inside job. He sent me pictures no one else has ever seen.
have you ever been to Las Vegas and seen the casinos demolished?
No.
So
Easy for you to say.
Right, I'm trying to put this together. In Las Vegas, they tear down buildings all the time and
Right.
then make up new casinos. And they have to strategically put the dynamite inside the buildings in a certain way so that the buildings fall straight down
Right.
and don't damage any of the buildings alongside of them.
Right.
And so when a building is hit by a plane, I mean, if it was going to collapse, it's not going to collapse pretty like a deck of cards straight down
Thank you.
unless there were...
Thank you very much. Are you?
bombing of the building?
Yes.
Thank you.
And they fall-
Yeah.
Honestly, that's
Thank
what
you.
happened. Because even if you go back and you watch the video from it, the plane hit at the very top. Why was smoke coming all the way? Like the building was tearing itself out from the very bottom up.
And
Thank you.
Like, it was coming down
steel
to
that
the
they
way.
use for the buildings, it burned. It should have burned 3 times. It takes 3 times the amount of what the fire was there to burn that metal. And within minutes, it was sticky.
It was an explosion from the inside. I'm glad we all agree.
Oh yeah, I run into more and more people that agree with what we're talking about, and it just burns me that these guys keep on lying to us, treat us like idiots. You know that. You know, like when common sense tells us, our own eyes tell us. Here's on the bottom here, if you're not familiar, architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth. There are over 3,000 architects and engineers that have signed a petition saying that those buildings came down by controlled demolition.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Have a blessed day.
Oh, thank you very much. God bless you.
Do you mind if I take a picture?
Sure you can.
Que se vea, ya sabes que.
Well, there we were. It is. It's there, and we got to get over this. I mean, it blows my mind that we walk around knowing the truth, and we still live in this kind of like make-believe world. And God, we just live with this lie. We live the lie and the truth live side by side. It's got to end. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. God bless you. I'll see you on the streets.